Every woman deserves a period of time where they're not taking care of someone. Few women get that ever. And what made me think about it is my dog. I've talked about this before, but if you think about every woman you know, how many of those women have had an extended period of time where they were not taking care of someone, like as the primary caretaker? By that I mean, were they taking care of their husbands, their boyfriends, their children? I mean, that one is one that's like takes decades or the rest of their life on some level. All the animals, dogs, cats, birds, whatever people get. Their parents, right? Because women never get a time off. As soon as they get done raising kids, guess who's next? Maybe not even before they're done raising kids. Mom or dad gets sick. You think the brothers are taking care of them? Sometimes, usually not. That almost always falls on the daughter. Especially if dad doesn't have a wife anymore because mom died from some autoimmune disease or something. We talk a lot about how men, live shorter lives than women, but not when they're married. They live longer when they're married. And you know what? Women oftentimes live less long because they're married. Both my grandmothers died before their husbands. It seems suspicious to me. One of them was literally held hostage and was abused, so that makes sense. The other one, I don't really know much about their marriage. Now, I'm talking about white women because that's what I am. That's what my family is. I know that this pressure to take care of everybody is even greater, like exponentially greater for Black, Indigenous, and other women of color because of culture, systemic racism, maybe because of all other things, right? Like there's so many things that come into it. But every woman I know is always taking care of somebody. And even if she is living her best single life, trying to center herself, trying to pour into herself, doesn't have kids, doesn't have any dependents, doesn't have a sick parent or whatever, sometimes she is taking care of her friends who are in terrible relationships with men. She's the person who listens to them for hours and hours and hours, trying to help them problem solve this husband that won't do anything, or, listening to them, trying to support them, or actually going over and doing stuff, on holidays and at parties and stuff, because so many men will have parties at their house. Hello, Christmas. Let's have the family over for Christmas and I'll do nothing, right? Like, it's so rare that a woman just gets to live. Now, I don't believe that individualism and, all that stuff is the answer. Community and taking care of each other is what we should be doing. Community is the answer to all of this. Community is the way out of this. It's one of the ways, but it's so important, which is why I've been trying to focus on it so much in the last 5-10 years, because I was a lone wolf for a long time. That was a pretty miserable existence, being self-reliant all the time. But at least I was a woman. I wasn't a man who was just a parasite on other women when I was a lone wolf. So many men will just exploit women while being completely not attached to a person in terms of actually offering anything. I stayed single. I took care of myself. That was all I took care of. I showed up for friends and stuff like that. But the point is that yes, community is so important. Because of the way that we've been socialized, women are naturally, not all women, naturally going to take care of each other. Women are the ones who, women who center men, they're not going to take care of you. You can't rely on them until that man screws them over and then they're going to come back. I know, I used to be a cool girl and all that stuff, but women in general are not going to die alone because women know how to do the social fabric. They know how to build community. They know how to pour into other people. So I think just because of our social conditioning alone, even if we take time to pour into ourselves, we're still going to show up for people. What I see happen a lot, if this actually worked out for you, please don't take this as an attack on you. So many women, when they finally break free of that relationship and they finally have a minute where they can go travel the world and do whatever they want to do and really not have to take care of anyone, they'll get a dog. They'll get a dog. Now, I love my dog. I love you. I love you so much. But I'm so glad I did not get him a day before I did. I know cats are a lot of times a better option, but even that is still taking care of something. But this dog, it's not nearly like a parent. It's not like, I'm not a parent. I'm not trying to minimize parenthood. I cannot imagine being a parent. There's a reason why I'm child-free. But holy crap, I have a husband who equally shares the labor of this dog, and it still ruins our social life. Everything is revolved around the dog because, partly because, we adopted him. He's like a COVID dog. We got him right before we went into our second lockdown here in France, and now he thinks that we're supposed to be home all the time. We've got baby cameras, dog puzzles, all kinds of crap. This dog will not bark. We leave him alone for more than a half hour. And so today we finally found a sitter, and it worked. And I'm like, oh my God, we can have a date. We can never go on dates without bringing the dog. So we don't even get to spend as much time together because of the dog. So anyway, I'm working on a solution for this dog with a lot of attachment issues for a really long time. And there's two of us. I almost got a dog before I was ready for one because I was lonely, because I wanted to cuddle with something, because I wanted to just love something. Maybe foster dogs. Maybe live with someone who has a dog. I don't know. But please, before you go out and get a pet because you're feeling lonely and you don't know what to do when you're not pouring so much into someone, especially a man, please at least sit with that loneliness. Sit with that, all of that love that you don't know where to put it. Sit with it. I almost got a dog when I lived in LA. I came this close. The only reason I didn't is because my landlord, who lived above me, it was her house, she was like, nah, I'm not really crazy about the idea of getting a dog. So it was going to require like a lot of convincing and like whatever. I was like, okay, maybe that's a sign I shouldn't get one yet. I actually don't think I want to stay in LA. I'm hopefully only here for a few years. I don't know. I just don't know if I'm going to end up here. That roots here. And I didn't. And thank God I didn't have a dog. When I moved to Spain, it was easy for me to find an apartment because I didn't have a dog. It was easy for me to travel all over because I didn't have a dog. Oh God, I can't imagine having done this amazing thing with a dog. Now, if you have a dog and you got one, it worked out for you, I am not trying to make you doubt your decisions, and that is what you needed to do, and I'm very happy for you. If this finds somebody who's in that moment of being like, I just want to hug something, and yet you've been dating someone or taking care of someone or just always pouring into someone your whole life, and you've never had that opportunity of having no responsibilities to another person, like serious responsibilities of taking care of someone else, please embrace it. Even just for a few months, please try it out. Because I swear, I think a lot, especially like my mom's age and older, I don't know if they ever spent a day of their life not taking care of someone. And I say most women, even today, it's so rare that they are not taking care of someone. And especially as a primary caretaker, not just in like supporting and helping someone, but literally taking care of them. I wish every woman could have that opportunity at some point. I know that's not realistic. It's also a huge privilege. And a lot of women, because of just the circumstances they're born into, the systemic oppression that they endure, will never experience that. I don't want to make it sound like every woman should just go do this, because I know some women can't. But if you can, and you have that opportunity, please don't let it pass you by. It's really uncomfortable for a lot of women. Some women will raise like 5 kids, then take care of their parents, then take care of their siblings, especially if it's a brother who won't take care of themselves, then will like adopt 6 shelter animals because they just love pouring into something. Have you ever poured into yourself? When you have that opportunity, it's not our default to do that. And I want to encourage women to take that opportunity when and if they ever get it. You can actually give so much more to people, be present for them and support them and gas them up and do all those things when you're not totally burnt out. You don't hate yourself because you're so resentful that everyone takes advantage of you. You're not stuck in an abusive or just at the very bare minimum exploitative relationship with someone who expects you to take care of them and does nothing in return. I mean, outside of kids, obviously. If your answer to, should I get a dog, is not fork, yeah, the answer is no. Not now. Not yet. Maybe later.